The question we get on the podcast all the time is, how do I make friends as an adult?
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Thank you, Joe Gatto, for coming in and bringing in the expensive baked goods today.
I went to the nice place. I stepped it up for you.
We love it when you come to see us. I was just thinking about this. Joe Gatto is here, and it was, how many years ago did we meet?
I won the DJ for a Day contest in 2001, 2 maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's when I came up here for the first time. And I brought you cannolis then.
See?
Yeah.
That's how you get invited back.
I know, that's it. As long as I bring treats.
Yeah.
The reason I brought it up was this. I mean, from then, it was also in Practical Jokers, huge success with that. And now I see you're actually going to play Caesars in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
Look at where you are.
Wow.
We knew you then, now we know you now. It's pretty cool.
I've got my own Palladium. They're giving me the whole thing. It's going to be great.
Is that crazy?
So cool.
So do you get nervous if they, Joe Gatto, look, you got the room.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got to fill it up.
I know, that's the problem. So come on out, friends. We need people to talk to.
So Joe Gatto is going to be there in October, like October 19th at Caesars Atlantic City.
Yeah.
So check that out. All right. We have many reasons to celebrate. First of all, great pastries. Love them.
He's got Nutella balls.
Yeah,
Look at
Nutella
these.
muffins. What an innovation. They just stuff a muffin with Nutella. I was like, I'm in 3 times.
So good.
I got 3. I knew you were going to look at those, and I wanted one. So
Is that why?
You know us. Come on.
We're the reason you got those?
Yeah.
Sure. But also a podcast that he does with his friend Steve Byrne. It's called Two Cool Moms. It's been out. Well, it's been out for a season now. Season 2 is here. And, of course, it's part of the Elvis Duran podcast network. It's so weird to talk about yourself in the third person.
You have your own podcast network. Look at you.
It's the strangest thing.
Talk about you. You've come a long way, too.
I don't know. This thing, it's so far, it's just, it's not working. This network, there's no success here whatsoever. So why'd you join us? I'm kidding.
I'm trying to turn this boat around.
It's
pulling
totally
the
up to
big
you.
guns, Elvis. Here we go. Toot, toot.
Oh, no. But we got some great podcasts. Yeah. Have you heard Gandhi's podcast?
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Well, no, it's... I get embarrassed listening sometimes. It's that good. It's so fantastic. So tell everyone, in case they don't know, what Two Cool Moms is about with you and Steve.
Well, Steve Byrne and I are comedian friends for a long time, and we wanted to do a podcast together. So we had gotten together and started just talking, and we eventually found out that we are both the product of very strong, influential mothers who gave great motherly advice. And in our friend group, we are that for people. We're each other's confidants. When I was going through some stuff, I went to Steve. Steve's come to me a lot. So we started to decide to hey, why don't we help the world with our motherly advice? And it's so fans can submit their dilemmas, and we help solve them as best we can. It's not always good, if I'm going to be honest, but it's always funny. So that's nice.
That's all that matters. I mean, talk about what it's like for you doing a podcast versus your day job.
Yeah, it was a format I wanted to get into for a little while, actually, and I was always looking. I always had fun being guests on one, and then my boy Sal has had great success with his, and it was fun to see that, and I was like, oh, this would be pretty cool, but I wanted to do one that would feel right and something, because it takes a lot of time too, and it's something that you want to dedicate some time to, and you want to do it with a partner that you like. So that all worked. And when Steve and I started, we actually called it Yin Yang Parmesan. And it just we didn't have an idea, and it didn't work, so we stopped, and then we restarted. And it was just nice to finally find a format. But it's a good way to connect with people. I didn't realize so many people are into it. It's such a cool medium, another way.
And Gandhi, what's your perspective on that? You love doing your podcast.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's nice to be able to have a long form to discuss things and really get into it. Because a lot of times on the air, we're constrained by time. There's a clock always ticking. Whereas on a podcast, you can talk about whatever you want. You can curse. You can be completely self-serving.
right.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But with you, because you guys are giving people motherly advice, which I think is hilarious. Is there one piece of advice that you always find yourself going back to?
The question we get on the podcast all the time is, how do I make friends as an adult? It's
Ooh,
the
wow.
number.
Really?
It's the number one one. Yeah, we get a lot of people asking about that, and I was like, I want to email the people that are asking, be like, here's a person who's looking for a friend.
Connections.
That's a big one that we get a lot, but I always think about my mom always talked about that you have to catch stuff when it's small, and that was something that we always because people. Your frustrations start coming together when it's too big to handle. So if you start addressing stuff when it's small, then that's one piece I really dish out a lot. I think
You know what? I got that from my mom and dad too. Get in front of things.
Yeah.
Get in front of it.
Moving cars.
That's good advice.
All of it. Yeah, it's good. I think that's definitely good. Catch it when it's small.
You know what? One of the things I love about you is, Gandhi's talking about being able to use foul language on the podcast. I don't think I've ever heard you say a dirty word.
Oh, you haven't come see me live.
Yes. When he did my show for Happy Jack, he used some.
That's right.
Some choice words.
Then maybe,
Not many.
Let me back. I'll back that up. No, I've seen your show, and that's different. But like in conversation, like right now, or when we're just hanging out, you always have nice things to say. And let me tell you, Joe Gatto is one of those generous people I've ever met.
Oh, yeah.
You, out of nowhere, I'll get a text from you, and you'll just say something, and it's like you knew I needed to hear it at that moment.
Yeah, I think of you often.
Oh, see, just by saying that, it makes me feel great, even though he never thinks of me, ever.
Not true.
Wait, how many dogs are you up to now?
Here we go.
We have 11 right now. Yeah, we have
Wow.
11 of ours. We have 27 at the rescue right now. It's kind of
You know what I'm going to do here, and you don't have to make them alphabetical. The 11 dogs you do have, give me their names.
That's
go.
Cannoli, Biscotti, Spumoni. Who else we got? Spumoni, Napoleon, Cupcake. Then we got Fettuccine, Alfredo, the brother and sister. And then we have Mocha, who's a little devil, who I love. And then there's
You have three more.
Strufala.
Okay, two more.
Who's the other two I'm missing? Strufala. That gets down to two more. Nutella. And
I think you said Nutella, didn't you?
No,
You have a
not
tiramisu?
we did. Rest in peace.
Scary.
Thanks for bringing it up, Scary.
I'm
No,
just doing Italian pastries.
Scary.
I'm just going with.
I appreciate the help, brother.
Scary.
Yeah.
Too soon. Scary. Too soon. So you're missing one, and this is this
That's
poor
my
dog.
least favorite one. Yeah, it's my
Wait,
least
do you
favorite.
confuse them all? Like, do you call Spumoni Nutella?
No, Spumoni's
and,
my favorite. So
Okay.
Spumoni I know, but I do call my son at times Napoleon. I call my daughter Cannoli. It doesn't work out sometimes.
But what is the other dog? Now this is going to drive me crazy. Oh, Joe.
I'll remember.
Is it on your Instagram anywhere?
Yeah,
Should I go find? I'll go look.
Okay, we'll go find it.
Yeah,
we'll go find it.
who would do. I'm trying to like picture the whole pack, and they just. Oh, it's the newest one. That's why. Chestnut.
Oh.
Chestnut.
That's out of nowhere.
Chestnut was
weird
part of the
name.
Panera pack. We met a woman who dropped off a bunch of in a Panera who was giving up a pack of dogs. The father, Chestnut, and all the puppies, and we got rid of all the puppies to people. We were able to get them adopted out, and I fell in love with the father, so I kept him. But Hazelnut found a home. Praline, all those puppies, they went out. We went on a nut theme for the pack.
I love that. And this is Joe Gatto. That's Joe on a cracker, man. He's just the nicest, sweetest
Food
guy.
motivated.
I love that part. Yeah. And there, 11 dogs living in the house. What's that like?
It's an adventure for sure. It's for sure. They listen. Sleeping's a little weird, like because they all sleep upstairs with us. So
Wait, all 11 sleep on the bed?
yeah, no, Strufela's got her own bed on the floor, and she's too
Wait,
big.
is there always barking going on?
No, they're
with
pretty
that
good.
Many? Really?
Yeah, one Spumoni's a little stirrer. She'll give a little arf, and then they all just go nuts. But sometimes it happens. They're pretty good. It's a pack mentality, That's what's crazy. You say go outside, they all just follow each other. It's,
Wow.
Who's the leader?
Biscotti, my girl Biscotti. She's my fave.
And
Look
10
at
of them
Joe.
sleep in your bed?
10 sleep in a bed. Yeah, I sleep like Tetris. Like if I have to get up and pee in the middle of the night, it's the worst.
I know that.
What if you want to get some loving going on? Like, what do you do?
I pet the dogs. What are you talking about? oh! I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yes, come on.
It's like something's licking me. I don't know who that is. But look at Joe when he's talking about his dogs. He just glows. Look how they make you so happy.
Of course.
See, we sleep with two, and you wake up with a backache because you contort your body in these weird
100%.
ways. Because you could easily just say, "Hey, it's a dog. Let's just move him over.
Yeah.
He'll get over it. He'll go back to sleep." But you don't want to do that.
No. I wouldn't get up the other day because one of the dogs was asleep on my lap, and I asked Bessie, my wife, I was like, Bessie, could you grab me my water? I left it over there. She's like, you don't want to wake up the princess? She was talking about my little dog that was asleep on my lap.
In reality, the dog doesn't care if you wake him up.
Not at all.
Let's go back to you're talking about the podcast, Two Cool Moms, you and Steve Byrne are doing. And you said one of the biggest questions you get asked for your motherly advice is, how do I make friends? What was your answer? What is your answer to people who want to make friends.
I just think you got to remember that every best friend starts as a stranger, and we forget that as we're younger, as we get older. It's like, oh, I don't know these people, I don't whatever, but you just got to get out there and have conversations with people. Talk to strangers. We have to deprogram ourselves as adults to do that, I think.
Are you nervous, like at a party or in social gatherings? Are you more of an introvert, and it takes a little while for you to warm up and go, okay, I can do this?
Who was that question for? Because that's clearly not me. I'm sorry, who is speaking to?
He is the party. He brings the party.
I do.
No. But Joe, let's say you and I are at the buffet, and you don't know me, I don't know you, because that's where you'll find us.
That's where you can find me. Yeah, me and you hanging out at the buffet.
Where's Elvis? Why have you checked the buffet? I know, but you don't know me, I don't know you. You're going to break the ice. What do you say to a total stranger who's like, getting green beans in the tongs and putting them on the plate? What do you say? Open it up.
Have you tried the salmon?
Have you tried the salmon?
No, I would say, I mean, a lot of people, it'll come from common interest too. I talk about that too. So like I've met a lot of friends who are taking pictures, actually, photographers, because I like photography. I'm into like amateur photography. I like pictures and stuff. So if I see people taking pictures, I'll talk to them about their camera in the park or whatnot. I remember one time we were shooting for Jokers. We were in the park, and I started talking to somebody to try to pull them in to do the bit, and I forgot because they were taking pictures and they had a camera, and I just started talking to them about the camera, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna get started here? Like, what are you doing?" And I was just like making a friend in the park.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah,
I know. I find that at parties, if I'm a little nervous, maybe a little sweaty palmy action going, but I want to say something to someone, I'll corner them, trap them. And I'll say, hey, are you having fun? Is this a fun party? Are you having a good time? And they'll look at me like, this guy actually wants to know if I'm having a good time. And then it opens up a conversation.
Yeah, I think if you're genuine, I think being genuine is important. If you're genuine about it too, like if you're not just looking for something, if you're like, if I go to places by myself a lot too, like I'll do that. I'll just go to some place by myself and I'll be like, hi. And they're like, who's this weird guy? And you have to work your way out of that. And then you're like, oh, forget this didn't work. And you walk away. Like you have to walk away from some weird conversations too. They're not all going to be friends.
No, you run from some. I get that. As they run from us, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But we have this thing, Alex and I have this thing where we go to dinner at a restaurant. We always eat at the bar. We never eat at a table. It feels weird sitting at a table for me. I'm like, what is this? The round thing in the middle of this room. The bar's over there.
Yeah.
You'll sit at the bar and you get to know everyone. You get to know the bartender first and foremost. Mm-hmm. Some of our best friends are bartenders. I've got one asleep upstairs right now in the house. But you meet all these other people from other places at the bar.
Yeah.
A conversation gets started, and it's actually okay to merge into a stranger's conversation.
Yeah.
At the bar, I think.
I love a communal table. You know how some restaurants do that, right? They do like the big table of 10 that anybody could sit at. I love those. I'm always like, I'll sit there. Those are fun because I think food brings people together for sure too. That always
absolutely
helps. Yeah.
Okay, so what other questions? What other motherly advice have you and Steve hit upon that you're like, okay, that was good. I needed to hear that, and I needed to tell people that.
Yeah, there are some nuggets sometimes because, again, we're not trained professionals. We're professional comedians. We just have fun and give our life advice. But I do sometimes we stumble upon things, and I think a lot of it, we do get like a lot about parenting. We do get some parenting stuff, too, because we both have kids similar ages. My daughter's 9. His is 10, I think. And we'll get a lot about how do I deal with, talk to my kids about their feelings. I always found that very challenging being a parent and like trying to like get people to raise their kids to like deal with stuff. My daughter will comes up to me sometimes. She's like, I don't know why I'm sad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know either. You have to start talking about it and figuring out like why, like what happened. Let's take a couple steps back. So we get a lot of stuff about that. But another huge one we get all the time is people ask us like what to do to cut somebody out of their life.
Oh.
Like, which is the opposite.
Okay.
Wow.
Like what to do.
That's a fair question. Yeah. Okay. Well, so what is your advice on that?
I say cut them out. I say, I think that life is too short to be worried about like trying. Of course, try. If it's somebody that's important in your life, and no. But I've heard a thing a while back about how friends are like seasons. They come in and out of your life. So if somebody's not, it's okay to outgrow people. And I think that's a hard pill to swallow for people.
It is.
Especially like, and it's weird coming from me because like my best friends are from high school, so it's like, you're clear. But, but there's other people that have come in and out of my life. And it's just, if you're not that every friendship has to be self-serving, but you should be it shouldn't feel like a chore. It shouldn't be taking up your mind space.
But it can be. I can list 4 or 5 people in my life right now who are a chore.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming I'm a chore for many. By the way, if you're just turning us on, this is Joe Gatto. You know Joe Gatto. The new the podcast season 2 that we're talking about is Two Cool Moms. He does with his friend Steve, who could not be here today. And I'm glad he's not here. I don't like him. I've never liked Steve.
Terrible guy.
I don't trust him.
Stop it. That's my boy Stevie. He loves
you. You should cut him out of your life. No, we love Steve.
Speaking of cutting people out of my life, sorry, Steve. One cool mom coming to the Elvis Duran.
We love you, Steve. Absolutely. I think everyone on the show would be great as a guest on your podcast because everyone on the show I love and I trust.
Yeah.
And I would trust advice from any of them. And I know them so well, I could tell you what their advice would probably be.
Yeah, they can help you that way. I've had conversations with everybody in this room at one point or another at different events I've crashed or places I've been at. Yeah.
Because you're always so encouraging and supportive. You don't ever have any mean things to say, and we're not used to that.
At least not in front of our faces.
Yeah.
No. I would tell you.
Joe.
When he leaves here today, those idiots. Why do I put up with that? All right, for instance, Danielle.
Yeah.
What is the best advice or what trail of advice is best from you? Like
from
a topic
me?
of advice. Yeah.
I just think that, you should be very supportive of your kids and, have, like Joe was saying, an open conversation about everything. There should be nothing not on the table that they should feel comfortable coming to you and talking to you about. Because if that's the case, and if you don't let them do that, then I think that's where you run into a lot of problems. So you really just have to be open to listening and not right away jump down their throats or tell them they're wrong or whatever. You have to be able to listen and try to actually help them and help the situation and give them the good advice. Yeah.
What about you, Gandhi? What would be your best advice?
My best advice
or topic of advice?
Oh, topic.
That I could rely on. I know. I need someone to talk to me about XYZ. I'm going to go to Gandhi because she's great at talking about what?
I think that I am really good at giving advice on how to just be true to yourself and not conform to all the things that people want you to be around you and be authentic. And it doesn't mean I am authentic. I'm just good at telling other people that. And I think that it's important, like in this world where you see so many things and so many different outlets telling you this is what you should like, this is who you should be, this is what you should look like. It's really important not to focus on all of that. And the more that you focus on yourself, I think the better you will do in life in general, and you'll be happier.
There you go. Yeah. You know, and the one word I think of, Joe, when it comes to my co-host Danielle and Gandhi, is they are both fearless. Oh. They're fearless. They love to get out there and put it out there and take chances, and that's pretty awesome. You should have them on your podcast.
I love that.
Serious.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's your podcast. I'm not telling you what to do.
It's under your banner.
What about you, Froggy? Like, if I wanted advice on what, I would need to call you first. What would it be, in your opinion?
I'll tell you something I learned less than a year ago, and my son's 21 years old, is that used to when I would correct him about things and sit down and talk to him, I would talk to him and correct him until I got the response I wanted. And I realized that I was wrong in that. I learned less than a year ago, he came to me and repeated something back to me I had said to him a while ago, and I realized that now when I have a talk with him, I talk with him until I say what I want to say. I am not waiting for a response. I say what I want to say. I move on. I let him process it at his pace. And when he gets it, he'll come back to me and say, hey, I know what you were talking about. And it took me a long time to realize that. I wish I would have realized that a whole lot sooner in life.
Well, never too late. Yep. And he turned out to be such a great guy.
He's amazing.
In spite of me, yes, he has turned out.
In spite of you.
Thank God
what
for
about
Lisa.
you, Scary? Tell Joe if he's ever going to have you on as a guest on Two Cool Moms. Or what line of advice are you great at doing?
You know, I'm a bit of a shallow guy. You know, I'm as deep as a puddle. But so food, things like food, travel, don't go to the same.
You Yelp?
I'm like that guy. I'm like, don't
5 stars.
Go to the 3 same destinations because life is short. So start traveling to new places.
Yeah. I will say that you are well traveled. You are well traveled.
But I will say, if on the serious tip, I would say spend as much time as you can with your family because until you lose a parent, like I did my mom last year. I didn't think about those things. Now I try every chance I get to at least spend a day a week or a couple of times and carve out some time for my dad and my sister, my brother, and everybody else.
Great advice.
That's great. That's the serious side of me.
Aw, that's nice.
And you want to take him to a restaurant, right?
Yeah,
I got 5 recommendations.
I do. Always.
He's the guy we all go to for all our recommendations for stuff.
I will tell you, every once in a while we'll order breakfast from different restaurants that deliver to the radio station, and we'll go, oh, God, this looks good. Look at this menu. He'll go, ooh, that gets a 3.8.
Still Rated tells all.
It's eggs. How can you mess that up?
I have that guy too.
They can make some bad eggs, but we'll order. He was like, okay, we'll order breakfast from the 3.8 restaurant, and it'll come and it'll be like the best breakfast ever. I don't understand.
How could this be?
Can't wrap his head around it. Yeah.
This is like a 4.8 breakfast. Anyway, all great advice. I trust all of you with all that stuff. All of the above.
There you go.
I really do. Hey, let's talk about the book. You want to talk about Where's Barry?
Yeah,
where's Barry?
Yeah, where's
Is it Barry?
Barry, yeah.
Barry. So where is Barry? What is this all about?
It's a kid's book I have coming out September 3rd, available now, though, for pre-order. And it's been, it's great. I wrote a story with my son and then got it illustrated. It's coming out through Penguin Publishing Group. It's so fun. Wow. And yeah, it's nice. It's my son lost his stuffy one night, and I don't know, any parent knows it could be, what a travesty. And we had to go searching for him, and we made it into a fun story about how he had to like cope with it and figure it out. But it got illustrated by a great illustrator named Luke Flowers, who did such a great job bringing it all to life. It's a really fun picture book. And he put, for Joker's fans, he was a fan of Joker, so he put a lot of like Easter eggs throughout the book, which is kind of fun.
That's so cool.
But it's just a really fun tale. And I'm really excited to get it into this space as well, because as I always loved kids' books. Back in the day when I worked in the baby space, when I was selling baby stuff. That sounds weird.
Wait.
You needed baby stuff. I was your guy. It was like scary with restaurants.
It's like, can you call my friend Joe?
I got you. What do you need?
I need a half pound of baby stuff.
I got the good stuff. 4.8 rating. I used to work for a baby company called Giggle here in the city, and I used to sell high-end baby furniture gear. And there was a kids' book section, and I used to read all the books because I would like to be able to recommend them. And I fell in love with that a long time ago. I actually even wrote one back in the day, and I just had no means to make one, and it wasn't very good. This one came way better. But so I'd always liked the space. And then becoming a father, you do bedtime and you read and all these cool books. And I was like, wow, I want to have one of these on the shelf and be in people's lives this way. So
we have so many friends who have written kids' books, like Jimmy Fallon. And I'm wondering if we all have a kids' book in us.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think it's not if you just want to tell a fun story, because I think especially with the 4 to 8 age group, like the picture book kind of stuff, it really comes to life when you partner with a good illustrator, and it comes to alive in a way. It's so fun to see your kid as a cartoon, or see like whatever, or even you as a cartoon or whatever you're imagining. So that was really fun.
Gandhi, I can see you doing a kid's book.
Oh, I would love to do
Danielle,
a kid's book.
you could do a kid's book.
I'm actually writing one right now with my nephew Andy about a dinosaur.
Oh,
so yeah,
that's so cool.
And he's like the kid's like reading Harry Potter, and he's like not even in first grade yet.
Oh wow,
he's much smarter than I am when it comes to this.
I love that. Joe, I love spending time with you, and I want to spend more time with you here. And congratulations on season 2. Woo! Welcome to the Elvis Duran Podcast Network.
Yes,
so exciting!
Thank you.
The podcast, Joe Gatto and Steve Byrne, is called Two Cool Moms. And turn it on wherever you get your podcast. I hope you get them from the iHeartRadio app.
You better.
That's it.
We're going to find you.
And don't forget, Joe's going to be in Atlantic City at Caesars in October 19th. Anything and everything you need to know about Joe, you can find out on JoeGattoOfficial.com, right?
Yep, that's right.
JoeGattoOfficial.com. We love you, Joe.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.